right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Day two of the Zero Project Conference. I'm simply delivering the microphones. The usual superstars are our moderators. I'm simply the microphone facilitator. Yeti, do you want to do it with the one microphone for the two of you?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Can we call in everyone? This is 19 February 2026. Welcome, everyone. Give a big applause for yourself. Yay! Second day. Second day. Good morning. How, Emily? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How did everyone wake up today? Is everyone ready for day 2 of a party?
Okay, I don't hear you. That doesn't sound really right. Are you okay? Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Unfortunately, time is against us, but I can see people are networking. They're not working, they are networking, okay? So then I'm sure this room is going to be full of people. But yesterday was amazing. It was fabulous. How was yesterday? Tell me with your hands. Great. Did you connect with people? Did you connect? Say hi to somebody sitting behind you. Say hi to somebody. Good morning. Give a good morning. Somebody sitting behind you. Good morning. No, I know you're sitting next to someone you know. So get someone that you don't know and say good morning. Perfect. Thank you. Emily, how was yesterday?
Oh, it was amazing. You know, it feels like day 2. It feels like, Saturday. It feels like the day after a party and only more party awaits us.
Here comes the next generation. Saturday. Okay, great. Yes, yesterday was amazing, and we started ZeroCon 2026 together here in the morning with amazing personalities, speeches. Wow. Sinead was a rock star, of course.
Yes, and I think one thing we learned from yesterday is that one of the main highlights is that inclusion really doesn't live in one lane. Is that right? Does everybody agree? Yeah. I mean, I think we saw this, for example, in sports. Like we saw this in Nico Langman yesterday. He just wonderfully demonstrated us what happens when wheelchair tennis isn't treated as an exception, but it's fully integrated as into ATP tournaments in Vienna. And again, not as an exception, but as elite sport. And I think we saw this even more powerfully in innovation as well through the 6 Zero Project Scaling Solutions Fellows, through their work that, really spanned continents and also daily life, from figuring out how to make dental care more accessible to figuring out how to expand ramp availability in India. What was really magical about this was that it was not only grounded in lived reality, but also really built to scale. Right, Yeti?
Absolutely. Can we give a big applause for the Zero Fellows yesterday? Yes. Amazing. They have done amazing work, and they come from all over the continent. Yes. And yesterday was also another day where we discussed about crisis responses, right? Where emergency does not come unplanned. These days it's becoming very planned. So with our EU accessibility sessions, we have talked about the need for safety, dignity in preparing for emergencies. And we also have been part of more than 20 fireside chats from all over the world, where we have heard from students of University of Washington, from big brands like L'Oreal, and quite so many of them. So it was amazing. But we want to hear from our participants. And I want to ask Coach Waffle. Where is he? Okay. How was your yesterday? You always start with your coach if you don't want to have a bad day, right? Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Coach Waffle. And yeah, it's on my shirt here. You can see that. Yesterday was a great day. We were able to demonstrate blind baseball to a number of people who had no idea that an activity of this nature is actually possible. The children that we brought in for this have been working for about 4 or 5 months, trying to get some aspect of education and different types of sports, and what we were able to bring to everyone is a opportunity to actually see children participating in an activity that is very unique and quite different.
How many of you have watched the blind baseball yesterday? Okay. I think we need to hear more, we need to do more, but thank you so much. Sport is the biggest tool of inclusion, and of course, it's something that we encourage you to know more about it. Catherine, can we hear from you? How was your yesterday? I'm asking people from further because I also see that they're beating their jet lag, but they're keeping us inspired.
Hi, I'm Catherine Johnson. I'm from the lovely state of Minnesota. You may have heard of Minneapolis. We are doing okay. We're going to get through this rough time in the United States. So yesterday, I had the opportunity to do a fireside chat with the two students from the University of Washington, Jaya and Francesca. And I was really, it gave me hope because I was watching and observing these young people who plan to go to law school after they graduate with their BA and make a difference in the world. And the experience that they had at the University of Washington and the research project that they did together on accessibility in Rome, they learned so much about accessibility and so much about disabilities. I need to meet the professors of the class that they had because it was amazing. And so it really gave me hope that these two young people are going to become lawyers and disability advocates in their work. And so seeing the young people here is what really gives me hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love, Katrina, your perspective. Amazing. Seeing the young generation is seeing hope for the future. That's why I have my Emily, and it's the perfect segue. What should we hope for today?
Okay, everyone, so make sure to stay here in room M1 to gather for our very, very special keynote session upcoming with Nikki Lilly on facial equality in the digital sphere, a very urgent conversation that, feels particularly relevant in our digital age. And Yeti, what do we have going on later on tonight?
Absolutely. What is happening tonight? Everybody knows, right? Yay! The award ceremony! The big highlight of the Zero. We will be celebrating change makers all over the world in accessibility, ICT, and crisis responses from 1800 onwards here in Vienna. You guys, we're so lucky. We are here to celebrate because we know these change makers have come through a lot of challenge, a lot of innovations. Then that will be followed by a communal dinner. We're going to be having a party together tonight. But there's going to be so many things packed for the day. But I don't want to eat into the minute because I'm a big, big fan of Nikki Lilly. And I will hand over this precious moment for Emily, my hope, my next generation hope, my star of the day, to humbly and graciously invite our keynote speaker who is in the room, which we are very lucky to hear from today. Colleagues, keep the energy up. Let's celebrate, connect. Over to Emily to tell us why Nikki Lilly is here today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Yeti. So for this session, I am just particularly excited to be able to introduce this next session. So I would like to ask a question to the people in this audience. Could you raise your hand if you love makeup? This might be an awkward question to ask for the men in the audience, but don't be shy.
Actually, the men are beating us these days.
Thank you so much for raising your hand. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not alone. So I personally love makeup. I love its artistry. I love that it can allow us to express ourselves. I just love the creativity. But here's the bad news, folks. Beauty and faces are no longer just cultural. They're now data. So facial recognition now unlocks our phones. It gives us access to financial information, and it even does things like, unlock our phones and verify our identities. And image-based technologies increasingly determine who is recognized, who is trusted, and who is granted access. And yet, these systems are built on incredibly narrow definitions on what is a face supposed to look like, or what is quote-unquote normal. And when technology is trained on very limited definitions on what a face is supposed to look like, or what normal is supposed to look like, that's when we start to have very limited definitions. And anyone who exists outside of that frame risks misidentification, denial of access, or even invisibility. And it has real consequences, even social, psychological, or economic consequences. So for people with facial differences, this isn't hypothetical, this is lived reality. And it shapes how they are seen and whether they are recognized at all, and whether they are allowed to, participate in society. But this keynote isn't just about the problem. It's also about possibility. It's about how visibility, advocacy, and creative solutions and inclusive design can reshape the way that our current systems and the systems that we're building. And so that difference isn't treated just like, as an error, but just as a normal part of the human condition. So please join me in welcoming Nikki Lilly to the stage.